let my kids stay there because I don't know what I would have done.
So your kids were staying with your mom, but then you were like in motels and then shelters.
Yes, in shelters.
What type of things did you see when you were in those shelters?
A lot of things that were ugly. It was confusing because I didn't know whether I should be there or should I ask a family member to stay at their house. I just didn't want to ask them because I was ashamed because I was homeless and
you don't want to have to tell them, I'm homeless.
Exactly.
So instead of being shameful and embarrassed, you said, I'm going to stay in the shelter, even though there were awful things that you were saying.
Right.
All right, well, we have more of my experience living on the streets with Danielle, and it was very difficult for me to be there and for her to go back to it. But you'll be able to see more of that when we come back. We'll be right back. Up next, the struggle to survive. How homeless people really live.
Excuse me, sir, do you have any change? So we can eat?
Excuse me, we're hungry. Can you have some change? Today we're going deep inside the epidemic of homelessness, and we're showing you that it's a paycheck or a death of a loved one or an accident away from happening to you. Still with me is Danielle, and Danielle spent the last 5 years of her life homeless. And she guided me around Skid Row, exposing me to the tools that you need to survive on the streets. And one of those tools included how to swallow my pride and beg. How long does it take to make enough money to get something to eat?
Well, we're standing in. Probably will take forever.
We're hungry. Can we have some change, sir? Excuse me, sir. Can we have some change? I feel kind of weird right now. Yeah, a little bit. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, do you have any change?
Do men give more than women, or women give more than men? Or
Men usually will give more than women.
men give more?
Some women are scared.
Okay. Excuse me, can we have some change, please?
Excuse me, sir, do you have any change so we can eat?
Excuse me, we're hungry. Can we have some change? Can we have some change, please?
Excuse me, do you have any change?
Oh, ma'am, thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
After an hour, someone finally gave me $1.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And in the end, I had $3.50.
So yeah, that's a lot of money to us. That's $1 million to them.
It's $1 million.
Yes, it is.
I finally had some money for food.
Excuse me. The burger stand didn't want a homeless person there. They wouldn't serve it.
While we're walking, we passed a trash bin full of food. And at that moment, I knew that if I was truly homeless, I would have eaten that food out of that bin. That would have been my lunch, maybe my dinner, maybe my breakfast too.
It's lunchtime, and this is like basically a safe haven for people to just dig and get all kinds of food out right now.
This.
Yes, this.
There's a lot of food, like right in there.
Yeah. Yes, there is.
Danielle told me that if you're lucky, you might find a gas station where you can clean up.
After walking a few blocks, I found a mini mart. And Danielle said this is a place where we should buy some soap, a toothbrush, and some food.
This shampoo is $2.79. This one's too much. No, we can't afford toothpaste.
Okay.
Do you think we should get something sweet or something salty? What is going to fill us up longer? Something sweet filled you up longer back in the day? Okay.
There's 4 cookies, soft batch.
Okay, soft batch. So $1, $2. Oh, shoot. This might be too much. Let's just bring it up and see.
Well, after we bought those items, it was time to get cleaned up. I laid my soap out, and I looked at the small sink. I realized that for some people out on the street, if they're lucky enough to find a public restroom that they can use or that would allow them in, that this little sink is their bath. It's their bath shower.
Just give me all the reason why I shouldn't go.
It was really starting to sink in.
When I was walking through the streets, I wasn't just seeing homeless people anymore. I was seeing stories, and that all of these people have a story as to why they got there. And it was hard for me sitting there doing the panhandling and being ignored like that, because I'm that person that ignores those people that are asking for money.
This was just a glimpse of what homeless people have to go through every day. I was heartbroken.
It'd be nice if you guys could just leave for a second, just give me a little time, like we could just go.
I was about to lose it because I was like, how can we be so blind to these people who live like this every day? Oof. I felt really guilty and really bad because when we were sitting there, Danielle, and we were begging, and people weren't even looking at us, and we were like invisible people to them, I was like, I'm those people. I'm those people that walk by and look at homeless people as you once were and see them begging for money, and I think, oh, they just want it for drugs and alcohol, and I don't even look at them. You know, the whole don't make eye contact with them rule. And to be on the other side and to know that I was with a woman that was homeless once and was not on drugs and not on alcohol and was begging like that because she wanted to feed her children and to feed herself, it was really eye-opening to me. And I noticed, I was watching you when I was washing up in that bathroom like that, and I saw you getting emotional when I had to take a shower or a bath in that sink. That was your life.
Yes, that was my life for 5 years.
For 5 years. And tell me about the first time that you had to beg for money. The first time.
The first time I was at a gas station, and I felt like I was there for hours because people would just pass me by like they did when we were on the streets. And, you know, I would just tell them, please, you know, can you just spare some change or $1 or anything? A lot of people would just pass me by. Wouldn't even look at me, wouldn't even bother.
What'd that feel like?
Very shameful because I never thought I'd see myself actually doing that. Never thought I'd see myself actually doing that. And there I was doing that, and that was the hardest thing, is having to ask for money.
And that's why we're doing this show today, Danielle, because people don't see themselves homeless. You don't, you know, you're not a little kid and say, you know, one day I want to grow up and be homeless. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not something that you think is going to happen to you.
I never thought it was gonna happen. You know, I thought my life was okay, and I thought my life was going good. You know, I had my apartment with my kids and my boyfriend, and everything seemed okay. And then when he got sick, it came crashing down. Came crashing down, and it happened so fast that I don't remember everything, like, you know.
Well, my day living on the streets and being with Danielle and walking in her shoes was far from over. Take a look.
My feet started to hurt like they have never hurt before. And I only had a few cookies to eat that day, so I was feeling really physically and emotionally weak.
Danielle, how do women protect themselves, especially at night, from like rape and attack and assault?
The best thing the thing I would do is carry a knife, even though I know it's legal. But carry a knife because that was my only protection, to tell you the truth.
Have you ever been attacked? What type of things have you seen when it comes to women being attacked?
They get hit first, you know, and they're just told to do things they're not supposed to. And,
Like sexual things?
yeah.
Danielle said that around this time we should lay down and make our bed.
So I would go to bed and then
Stay awake and watch.
you would stay awake and watch, like to protect me?
Yes.
And then we switch turns?
And I knew I wasn't going to spend the night there, but I wanted to feel the terror of actually laying on the hard cement out in the open and exposed and calling it my
For
bed.
your, like, your face.
Okay, to cover the face?
Yeah.
Oh, a face cover to protect yourself so they don't know if it's like a woman sitting there. Wow.
Now it was Danielle's turn to rest and for us to switch places. I was Danielle's keeper. I was her watch. I was her only safety. I understood at that moment that there's no way to really truly comprehend this. The homeless live like this every single day. But you know what? It's not a living. It's surviving.